All right, y'all, come on in, come on in, come on in here. We got some good stuff to discuss today, y'all. I appreciate all of y'all for tuning in, kicking it with your girl. Thank y'all for the email. So I'm wanting to let you know that Queen Bee be listening. Y'all want to know my thoughts on, Biden in this situation that has been going viral all over. But I'm just here to tell y'all that we knew this. Okay. So for those who don't know, and I'm pretty sure you do, your former president has prostate cancer. To my understanding, stage 4. Now that's a very serious stage. Not only that, dementia. Okay. So this is the thing. We knew this. Even the outside people looking in knew this, because if you were watching and paying attention to the last 4 years and Biden, you could clearly see the decline. You could see it from the stumbling to the not knowing where the hell he going, to what is he doing? What is he saying? You know what I'm saying? To like all of these things. And now it's all making sense because y'all see the whole auto pen. He could barely know where he was at or what he was doing or keep himself up. So how in the hell was he able to even sign anything if he were under these conditions? You know what I'm saying? Or if he was totally fine. It all makes sense now with the fake oval, with production. Everything is starting to make sense. But we knew this already. We was just waiting for that administration to tell us the truth. And when we did ask for the truth, we got called conspiracy theorists and all this other type of stuff. And now the media throws it out there and wants us to be surprised. Oh, and why do they pick a time now when all the corruption is being unraveled? Right? Let's go ahead and try to throw this on in there to see if we can get some type of sympathy. Now, here's my thing. I don't wish death, cancer, or anything on nobody. Okay? That's one thing I don't wish on anybody. All right? President or not. I don't wish that on nobody. All right. But they had a chance to tell the truth when they were in term. So just what if these folks really told the truth and said, hey, the president is going through this. He has this, that, and the other. You know what I'm saying? So we all know that if there's something going on where the president can't really perform the full term or his length of time and stuff like that, we know who's up next, the vice president. So maybe if they presented that and actually told the truth and said, we already know that if the president can't fulfill these positions and things like that, the next person up is the vice president. Maybe. And that's a big maybe. Okay. The outcome probably could have turned differently. You know what I'm saying? But no, they lied. They lied time after time after time to our faces when we already knew. That's the crazy part. We already knew. So with that being said, y'all, we finna get into the first clip of this bimbo, the liar. I'm so glad we don't have to see her anymore. KJP, y'all. So let's jump into the first bimbo and the first lie. Well, not even the first lie, but a lie. Let's get into it, y'all. We're going to chop it up towards the end. Let's go.
Doctor, when can we talk to the president's doctor, and how come they haven't been asked to come out here and talk with us, given the Her report that challenges the president's mental fitness?
So look, just to speak to the Her report really, really quickly. Special counsel Her is, as far as I remember, is obviously a Republican, a prosecutor. He's not a medical doctor. He's just not. It's not for him to speak to. It's just not. And you've heard from over the past couple of days since the report has been out. You've heard from legal experts from across the ideological spectrum, even former attorney general, and he says, and they have come out to say that the stuff in this report that is capturing all of your attention right now is just wrong. It's flatly wrong. It is inappropriate. It is gratuitous, and so. Going to leave that there, and it is obviously up for a medical doctor to decide on that. But look, I have said the medical doctor, the president's doctor, is going to do a physical. He's going to, and he has always put forth in the last 2 years a detailed memo on the president's obviously medical physical, and so I'm just going to leave it there. I don't have anything else to add. Go ahead, Jerry.
Of course you don't have anything else to add. The problem isn't that you didn't lie. The problem is we noticed it. We noticed it, bimbo. Y'all get what I'm saying? Like, all these times you went up there and they asked the question, you had every time to tell the truth, but you chose to lie. Y'all chose to cover for this man. Now, if y'all didn't know or were paying attention, then let me remind some of y'all that back in 2022, Biden was trying to tell the folks what he had. Okay. And instead of people actually tuning in or taking it in, they laughed and made jokes and stuff like that. Clearly, this man was trying to say what he had. So if Biden knew this, how in the hell everybody else around him didn't know? With that being said, y'all coming straight from Liz to TikTok. Let's dive into the video.
And because it was a 4-lane highway that was accessible, my mother drove us, and rather than us be able to walk. And guess what? The first frost, you know what was happening? You had to put on your windshield wipers to get literally the oil slick off the window. That's why I and so damn many other people I grew up have cancer. And why can't, for the longest time, Delaware had the highest cancer rate in the nation. And because it was a 4-lane highway that was accessible.
So there you have it. They wanted y'all to look bypass this. They wanted y'all to look over it and everything. The man clearly said it here. Okay. And as the terms it started to progress and everything like that, he started to decline. So like, I can't keep stressing this enough. To me to know, we not surprised because a lot of people, we already seen it. We were just waiting on y'all to catch up and let us know the truth. But y'all still did not want to do that. Why? Why not? Well, here's the doctor with his honest opinion, y'all. We're going to dive into it. And he goes by the name of Dr. Shusterman. And he's just going to blankly tell y'all his thoughts. Coming straight from Live to TikTok again, y'all. Let's dive into it. Let's go.
It's very unlikely that someone could get annual checkups and not notice a PSA elevation over the past, this is what I typically would see in a VA hospital where a patient hasn't had medical attention in 10 years, presents to an emergency room with bone pain, and then they find that it's metastatic prostate cancer. But in the modern age of medicine, especially the fact that he was a former president, he had intensive state-of-the-art, care where we can see prostate cancer, 10 years in the past. So this is, it's very unusual to hear that someone has prostate cancer where they're.
And here's my thing. We finna get back into it. Like, you get annual, yearly checkups. You're the president, so you gonna get the best of the best. How is it that wasn't determined? Like, we can't make this up. How y'all not know this when he go to these checkups? Was y'all getting this man to the checkups like he need to be? Because I don't know how the doctors or anybody can miss it.
Annually being followed up. And the fact that we just find it at a Gleason 9 is just pretty much unheard of in this day and age of medicine. Even in the, even in the inner city populations, we wouldn't see it. So you're saying this bad.
So here's my thing. Either the doctors was lying or the test. Somewhere down the line, somebody missed it. We didn't. We didn't miss it. We knew this. It wasn't hard to tell. So now we bring it to Jill, y'all. She was so focused on being the first lady by any means necessary, baby. I'm going to hold this title. Regardless of your situation, baby, I'm going to hold this title. Using her husband as a stage prop. That has to say a lot about you. A lot about you. Is it really love, or was this like some type of control. I'm gonna let y'all do what y'all do with it. We finna get right into it, y'all, coming straight from C3 at C3_C3. Wait, at C3C_3. If you want to follow this person on X, let's get into it.
Oh, you did such a great job. You answered every question. You knew all the facts. And let me ask the crowd, what did Trump do? Why?
What?
Oh, you did such a great job. You answered.
Well, we see fast forward and who's lying. Because if y'all was telling the truth, we would not be right here today. So who was lying? Not Trump. All right, y'all, we finna keep it moving. You get what I'm saying? Like, she didn't care. She like, baby, we gonna ride this thing out. Okay, we're going to ride this thing out if we got to. This is crazy. So y'all just now wanting to get the information to the people. And we supposed to be surprised when we already knew this. With that being said, y'all, we're going to get it straight into Terrence Williams. If y'all want to follow him on X, y'all, arrest Jill Biden for elder abuse. I agree, because that's exactly what it is. And everybody in that circle around him. Now it goes to wonder who was really behind Biden and all these moves they had going on. We know it wasn't Biden himself. So who was it? We got questions and we need answers to them. Let's dive into it, y'all.
Y'all, let's get something straight. I don't wish cancer on anyone, okay?
Facts.
I don't care if you are a Democrat. I don't care if you don't support Trump. I don't wish cancer on you. I would not wish that on my worst enemy. And I do not like Joe Biden, but I do not find joy in him having cancer, okay? Now, first things first, Jill Biden should be arrested and charged with elder abuse. She, the entire time, you cannot get me to believe that she did not know that her husband had prostate cancer.
Facts.
This man has the most aggressive form of cancer. His prostate cancer has spread to his bones. Joe Biden is literally in the last stages. And you mean to tell me that they just found out today?
Right.
Or yesterday
Facts.
or last week? No, they knew the entire time. But they called us conspiracy theorists when we said Joe Biden is not fit to be president because he is sick and he's not healthy. They called us conspiracy theorists. They called us crazy. We were fact-checked for saying that Joe Biden is not healthy.
Where's
And
the lies?
his wife, Jill Biden, listen, I know that your husband is supposed to be your protector, but when your husband is sick, when he is sick and dying, you are supposed to step up and protect your husband. So you should be ashamed of yourself.
Facts.
For allowing your sickly husband to be paraded around like he was healthy. You should be ashamed of yourself for allowing your sickly husband to run for president. You should be ashamed, Jill Biden. And you need to be charged with elder abuse. She needs to go to the federal penitentiary and spend the rest of her life in prison. This is absolutely sickening. And you know what? Everybody involved, every single body involved in Joe Biden being president, every single body involved in parading him around as if he was healthy, they should be charged with elder abuse also.
Because that's what it is.
They should be charged. They should be charged for participating in elder abuse. Yes,
I agree.
They are all, every single body involved should be charged with elder abuse. And Jill Biden, you should do the most time. Shame on you. Shame on you. Y'all, this is absolutely crazy.
It is.
The American people were lied to over and over again. And the medical doctors who lied and said that Joe Biden was healthy, they need to face Congress. Those doctors who made those fake reports saying that Joe Biden was perfectly healthy, they should be charged with falsifying health documents. They should be charged for lying to the American people, for falsifying documents. There's no way that those doctors did not know that Joe Biden had cancer.
Facts, because they did.
You mean to tell me they did not know? This man has the most aggressive form of cancer. Those doctors participated. They are an accomplice in this elder abuse. So who was running? Who in the hell was the president of the United States of America for the last 4 damn years?
We need to know.
Who was running this country? Because it wasn't Joe. Joe was out there trying to fight and trying to fight for his life, dealing with cancer.
We want answers.
He was probably it. Joe Biden was literally fighting for his life. He has the most aggressive form of cancer. Who in the hell was running for Who in the hell was running this country? Because it was not Joe Biden. It was not Joe.
I could take a guess.
I think we need to look into Barack Obama. He's probably involved in this too. But we need to know who was running the Oval Office. Who was making the calls?
Who was signing?
Y'all, this is something that we need to look into. This ain't right. This is not right. We were lied to, and we need to know the truth. We know some of the truth, but we need to know who was making the calls. Who was calling the shots?
Who?
Because it was not Joe Biden.
Period. And y'all know this is around final hour, so they gonna find out. They definitely gonna find out. Now we with my boy coming straight from Scott Jennings page, y'all on X if y'all want to follow him. Here's the thing. If we got a serious question and it's not about Trump, why do people like to throw Trump's name in it? You get what I'm saying? We talking about Biden right now. We ain't talking about Trump. Why do people like to do that? Why do they like to point the finger and say, oh, well, Trump? No, we got questions that need answers to them. We want to know about Biden right now. We want to know why y'all lied. We want to know why y'all covered up knowing. Y'all let this man continue and push through it knowing that man was sick. Shows a lot about who the people he had around him. They so worried about getting their agenda across and control. They gonna use any and everything they can do, including the president who's damn near his deathbed with prostate, the worst stage you could be in. Using him. Let's get into it, y'all. Of course, CNN. Let's go.
Actually, are you arguing that Joe Biden was fine during his?
I'm not arguing that he was fine. I'm arguing that
you keep pivoting back to Trump, who's clearly fine. I'm just asking you if you're arguing that something was not wrong with Joe Biden.
I'm so glad you asked that question because Joe Biden is no longer the president.
But he was, and that's the story tonight.
Donald, stop. Let me finish what I'm saying. Let me finish something. Donald Trump is the president of the United States. I would dearly love to see a cognitive test from him because as somebody who's lived in the New York media market for the last 40 years, I can tell you that the Donald Trump that I knew in the 80s is not the Donald Trump that I hear today.
So your answer to the cover-up is Trump.
My answer is...
Your answer to every question is Trump.
My answer is
the cover-up is the story tonight.
The president
That's the story.
Yes, the cover-up is also the president of the United States, who happens to be Donald J. Trump today.
Oh, Lord.
Is not... Yeah, you could laugh all you want.
I am definitely laughing.
You know why you're laughing?
We are laughing.
We're going to...
We are laughing.
Like, seriously.
No, we're not laughing. You don't want to answer the question, Scott.
Yeah.
Your president.
What question?
Julie, we're going to leave it there.
I'd love to see his cognitive test. I'd love to see his
sure he'd
physical
be
test.
fine.
Dr.
I'm
Grasso.
Sure he would, right.
Yeah, he would be fine. This ain't about Trump. Trump already said he'll go through the whole medical exam and all that. This ain't about Trump right now. This is about Biden and why y'all lied and covered up knowing this man and what he was going through. This ain't about Trump at all. Y'all was sitting here saying Biden was resting the whole time he was hiding. Y'all knew from day one. Let's be real. Y'all knew this. So with that being said, y'all, coming straight from Tony X2, we finna dive into the video from the get-go, from the jump in 2020. They knew that his health was declining, and they still effing went through with this. Let's dive into the video, y'all. Let's go.
How about this for a fucking scandal? Well, without even fucking trying, the Democrats just showed us why Joe Biden was never in office and you can never find him. In order for his cancer to metastasize to 9, he had to have had it for about 6 to 7 years. That means from the get-go, from the jump in 2020, they knew that his health was declining and they fucking lied to us. They had medical doctors and everything saying his health was 100% and there was nothing wrong with him. Now it makes perfect sense why he kept disappearing. And they're like, where the fuck is Joe Biden? He's never out. He was getting treated for
y'all
fucking
remember
cancer, people. This kind of cancer does not just jump up and pop up onto you to where it metastasizes to the bone. That means he's had it for about 6 to 7 years. What year is this? 2025, people. Now you know why Joe Biden would do disappearing acts for a month at a fucking time. This is a lie at a massive scale, and without them even knowing it, by admitting Joe Biden has this stage of fucking cancer means they've been lying to us since before Joe Biden even ran for fucking president. How about that for a fucking scandal?
Coming straight from Real Witter Rabbit. Okay, on TikTok, y'all, where the lies, the people are standing up and talking because this is ridiculous. Why is we just not hearing about this, y'all? Y'all know they knew this. Like, let's be real. And some of the people are pretty much saying due to all the corruption and things like that with his son and all this other type of stuff, now y'all want to present that he has, cancer and all of this. But we already knew this. Again, we was waiting on y'all to catch up. We knew this. We was waiting on y'all to be able to sit finally and somebody tell the truth. But no, y'all took it and ran with it. Lie after lie after lie after lie is eventually going to catch up to you. You sow them bad seeds, they got to grow. You reap what you sow. Y'all had enough time to say, hey, this is what's going on. This is the truth. Y'all chose not to. Yeah, we're going to dive into this next clip. And it's exactly what I said. Y'all been knowing this and all this other type of stuff, but all this corruption and stuff is unraveling. And now y'all want to use this as a safe code. Baby, stop. Stop. We not fooling around with this stuff no more. We not eating these lies y'all got. Do y'all not know that yet? People are tired of being lied to after lied to after lied to after lied to. And you have so many chances and choices to say the truth. With that being said, y'all, coming straight from Mia Joy. That's Mia Love Joe on X. Let's dive into the video and see what he has to say. Let's go.
All right, so I'm sure you've heard by now, because the whole world's heard by now, Joe Biden has been diagnosed with aggressive prostate cancer that has metastasized into his bones. So let's call it for what it is. It's a terminal diagnosis. It's terminal cancer. The chance of him living a year is not great. They're going to tell you all sorts of things, but isn't it convenient that just in time to stave off all the conversations about the Robert Hur recording that has just been released, where Joe Biden doesn't know when he was vice president, doesn't know when his son, Beau, died, doesn't know when Donald Trump was elected president, it is completely obvious that everything we said for years and years about Joe Biden is exactly true. He had no ability to run this country, which is why we had the auto pen. So just in time for that, we get this terminal diagnosis of cancer. You can't pick on a guy who's got cancer. Look, when I talk about Joe Biden having dementia, I'm not taking shots at Joe Biden. I'm taking shots at everybody around him, Jen Psaki and all the people that protected Joe Biden. I'm talking about little Chuck Todd. I'm talking about Jake Tapper. I'm talking about all the dishonest sons of bitches in the media.
Huh.
All the lying assholes around him in the White House. I'm not taking a shot at Joe Biden. I feel sorry for the man. Nobody wants to face a cancer diagnosis. But one more thing about that. Didn't he just have a complete physical last year? Didn't they check his PSA numbers just last year? And yet somehow, within 1 year, it's gone from aggressive into his bones metastasized. I think they may have known this as well. Terminal cancer for Joe Biden, that's what I'm going to call it. Just in time to get the conversation away from the fact that he was in no condition to run the country for 4 years, period, paragraph.
And he said what he said, y'all. Make it make sense. So here's my thing. Who's about to be held accountable for lying about the president's health? Who? Y'all let me know. Who gonna be responsible for propping him up, knowing what he was going through? Y'all got to be some evil individuals to literally sit here knowing he wasn't fit. And instead of y'all just coming out to the people and telling the truth, saying that this man wasn't fit to be president, so our next step is vice president Kamala Harris. Let's go ahead and let her put her out there to the world and stuff like that. Y'all rather sit there and have that much control and power to keep your stands, to prop around a sick man. Like, that's just really important. Me being a wife, I'm like, yo, I would have been calling the shots like, yo, my husband is not fit. Like, this man is sick. He's going through something. I'd be sitting at the table like, what's next? What are we going to do? Because I sat here and I said my vows through thick and thin, sickness and health, to death do us apart. My husband is not performing right. Y'all yet having this man go out to interviews looking crazy. Like, I need to take some time to make sure my husband is all right. Fuck being the first lady right now. Fuck the power and the control. This is my husband. This is my partner in crime. This is my man. But no. What y'all do? Lie, lie, lie. This man is literally on his deathbed. And this is because of the choices that y'all decided to do. It was just that much control, that much power that y'all don't even have at this moment. I need to know y'all thoughts. Y'all got mine. And I'm going to say it again. I ain't wishing cancer, nothing, death, none of that on nobody, because it's not a good feeling. My mother battled with breast cancer. She beat it. That was hell that we had to go through. So I'm not wishing none of this on nobody. But the fact that these people, the very people behind him, nobody stood in and said, yo, this ain't gonna work. Let's see what our next step is. Y'all decided to continue to let him push through his term just for power and control. But we were the crazy ones. No, hell no. Y'all bimbos was crazy.